Okay, I'm going to go over the virus study guide with you. Okay, number 1 says viruses are not a part of any kingdom of life. Therefore, they are considered non-living because they are not made of cells. In this case, it will be cells. Number 2 says describe the basic structure of a virus. Now, all viruses have genetic material, or nucleic acids, and that's going to be either DNA or RNA. Remember, they don't have both. If the virus has DNA, it's called a provirus. If a virus has RNA, it's called a retrovirus. The R's go together, RNA, retrovirus. So all viruses have genetic material, nucleic acids, and all viruses have a protein coat that protects the genetic material. Okay, and that's called the capsid. And it is made out of protein. That's the capsid, the protein coat. And they have different shapes based on that protein coat. Some are round, or called enveloped. Some are helical. Some are polyhedral. Some are rod-shaped. But it's all based on that protein coat. Okay. So the outer protein coat of a virus is called the capsid. So that the outer protein coat is called the capsid. It is made of protein. So bacteriophages are viruses that infect only. Well, a lot of the time what they infect is in their name. So this is bacteriophage. So bacteriophage is going to infect bacteria. And let's see if we can find a bacteriophage to put there. Insert image. Search web. Bacteriophage. There's one right there. Insert that one. Put it right there. Good. Here's our bacteriophage. You notice it shows the nucleic acid, the DNA or the RNA that's inside there. That would be our capsid around it, this protein coat. And it looks like it would be a polyhedral. It looks like it has many sides. This is a polyhedral. And it has a tail sheath and little legs that attach to the bacteria that it's going to infect, and then it injects its material into the bacteria. That genetic material in there, and then the bacteria starts making copies of the virus. So that's a bacteriophage. So bacteria can reproduce, but only if they are inside a host cell. That's another way they are different from living things. They're not able to reproduce on their own. They have to be inside a host cell. They have to have a host. Name the group of viruses that contain RNA as their genetic information. So RNA, that starts with an R. So that's going to be retrovirus that starts with an R. Retrovirus. Number 7, the process by which a virus makes more viruses is called viral replication. Viral replication, they're going to replicate. Viral diseases can be prevented with vaccines, but not treated with antibodies. Remember, vaccines gives usually a protein off of the virus, and then that protein triggers the immune system to create antibodies. And then those antibodies are sitting there ready to attack if the virus enters our body. So vaccines help our body make antibodies to protect against viruses. So prevented by vaccines. Antibiotics do not treat viruses. They're effective against bacterial infections, but they're not effective against viruses. A blank infection concludes with the bursting of the host cell. That would be a lytic infection. To lyse something means to break it. So it burst open in a lytic infection. Okay, that's the short name. Short name goes with the short infection. It invades the cell, replicates pretty rapidly, fills up the cell bursts open and spreads it out. All of a sudden, you're sick as a dog. That's a short infection, short name, lytic infection. If you've ever had a cold sore, it can recur, and therefore cold sores are lysogenic infections. You stay infected for a long time that stays inside your body. So that's a lysogenic, stays there for a long time, lysogenic infection. Number 11, why are flu shots offered to the public each year? Because the flu virus mutates rapidly. The flu virus mutates rapidly. So the one we get the shot for this year will have changed by next year. So the flu shot mutates rapidly. So you have to be vaccinated against different strains or different versions. Because the flu virus mutates rapidly. So you have to be vaccinated against different strains. That's why we get a new one each year. And then it says, be sure to study the worksheet, Viruses and Living Things. And that should be in your Google Classroom. So study those. And that's that. So study. We do have a quiz coming up on Friday. So that's your study guide. Hope that helps.